From the Moody Blues, Justin Hayward, John Lodge, Graeme, the Moody Blues.
Justin never changes clothes.
No. He always wears that cap.
I don't very often see this time of day.
So welcome. How's Moody Blues Cruise 2 going for you guys?
Pretty good so far.
So far so good?
So far so good.
A little windy. Last year, you remember we had the sun beating down on us, so here it comes again. We'll try to get through this without getting too red. So, well, being on the open seas, as it were, I'm just going to jump right into this. This is from Jim Brown of Industry, Pennsylvania. He says here, water seems to be a recurring theme in your music. You have, or some of you have at least had boats at some point in your lives. Where and when did your love of the water come about? So, Graeme, we know that you were the sailor of the three, so, or the most prominent one.
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's because when you're trying to express emotions, the sea is the one thing that reacts so well to the weather. The other thing is the wind in the trees, stuff like that, where visual things have movement, and it can be calm or angry or beautiful in a sunset, and you use that imagery to help you promote the emotional content of what you're trying to say. Or at least that's what I've just made up.
Justin or John, you want to chime in on that one?
Well, I'm a Cancerian, so pretty much a water sign. I just love
He could go work Mandela's funeral.
I'll get you a job in South Africa.
I think he was trying to do semaphore.
Yeah, but no one will hear you now, so. No, I'm a cancer sign and waters. You know, I was born in the centre of England, in Birmingham. No water anywhere, but except the canals, which were pretty cool places to visit and swim in. No, water's a really important part of life. And as we all know, we've all been looking for where water came from, because there's never a drought, it's always water's been in the wrong place.
Thank you.
That one. We're going to need another microphone up here. We've got one dead mic. So sticking with the water theme for a second, this one segues quite nicely. This is from Hillary Edelstein of Marlborough, New Jersey. She wants to know, not including musical instruments or family photos, what 3 items would you want to have with you if you were stranded on a desert island? And she's actually nice here. You're only going to be stranded for a year. So, outside of musical instruments or family photos, what 3 items would you want on a desert island?
A satellite phone.
Satellite phone.
Internet connection.
Internet connection.
Justin?
I think I'd have my D28 Martin if I was going to be there for a year, and what the hell else? A library full of books, I suppose.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the question. Do I have to take the family with me?
No.
I think I'd like to have a boat.
so now just, we'll jump around a little bit. I can keep my papers down. This is from Grant Bell of Woodbridge, Virginia. Referencing one of the songs, he goes, looking back on the candle of life so far, has it burned slowly? Has your candle of life burned slowly?
I think the microphone's sort of burned slowly out. Yeah, I think, the candle burning slowly. I think we've lit it at both ends, actually, but it's a bit like a record, you know, an old vinyl album. The outside goes the same speed as the inside, but you get a lot more information at the beginning. And I suppose Candle of Life is pretty much like that.
Yeah, as John said, we did burn the candle of life at both ends. Unfortunately, I've only got the wick left.
All right, hopefully this one, this seems to be working a little better. All right. Anxiety dreams and things of that nature. Some people have them days before big events. Anxiety dreams for any of you guys before shows, something out of the ordinary like this, being on a cruise ship, anything like that?
Yeah, well, all of my Facebook friends, my rascals, and they all know I have this recurring anxiety dream where I come on stage, walk up to the drum kit just about to get ready to start, and instead of drumsticks, I've got bananas. Now, apparently there's another meaning to bananas in dreams, but I swear this is just drumsticks.
You're not going to use them?
And of course, the usual ones where you can't find the dressing room or you can't find the stage. And I had an interesting one just before this tour, first time I've ever had it. And the curtains are drawn, which is unusual because we never have curtains. The curtains are drawn, the movies are announced, the curtains open, and I suddenly realise I'm sitting in the 10th row. And there's my drum kit up there with nobody on it. And I'm trying to squeeze past everybody and the knees are in the way and these guys are waiting. And then thank goodness I woke up.
How did it sound?
Oh, it was crap without me.
That's why we got Gordon.
Boom, boom.
You could watch yourself then, Graeme, if you got Gordy helping you out. That's okay. All right. I could become a roadie for you guys if you need, fun. Well, dreams, you wake up, I guess it's a joke, your mind is playing on you. So that leads me to Chris Britton from Lakewood, Colorado. I'm assuming it's a woman. She would like to know, are you all still doing practical jokes on each other? And if so, what was your last one and on which person? And also, who's the best sport about it, and who is the best one at pulling off the practical jokes?
We haven't, we did in the beginning, but we haven't done that for many, many years because of the problem with it escalating. And, it gets more and more intrusive, if you like. And you suddenly realise there's only one place this is going to end, or two places. One, we quit now, or two, it gets too ridiculous. So I don't think we've done any practical joking for like 30 years or more.
All right, well, we'll move from Justin. I've got a quick one here for you. In an interview once, you recorded as saying that you like to sit up at the front of the bus while touring America and watching America go by. Are there any places you've seen in passing that you just wanted to go back to explore further on your own, and have you ever done that?
You know, that's, I do like it, yeah, because it's such a great country to go across by bus or to travel by bus. Everything is set up for the person who wants to do that. One of the most amazing roads, though, that we travelled a few years ago was that, I'm not sure what it's called, people will know here, I'm sure, but it's the highway that goes right across Canada, all the way to Vancouver. One big straight road. And you pass a lot of trucks that are never meant to turn round. They can only go and bring the loads or the number of trailers they've got to one end, and then unhitch it and go back to the other end of the trailer and go back again. You can't turn the whole thing round. But that was an amazing road. And like I said, it's a great sort of continent to travel by bus. And we were on a plane for so many years, getting in and out of buses and things like that, but getting in and out of minivans and going to the gigs. But I really enjoy the bus tours that we've been doing now, very, very much.
And then sticking with that theme, places, I mean, you've played all over the world, you are truly a global band. On the wish list, places left to play, or if not to play, then places to visit on your own personal time?
Yeah, we are lucky to be able to travel around the world. And last year I went to Southeast Asia because I've never been there, and it was fantastic to go and sort of relive, sort of going to Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, and meet all the people there. And it was a really, really interesting place. And to go to Angkor Wat, to find this city that has been hidden for more than 1,000 years, and to see the architecture and the painting and the type of paint, it's just wonderful. For me, I've always been a gypsy. I love traveling, and I love meeting people, and I love going to see places I never ever dreamt. My favorite book when I was growing up was a really old National Geographic magazine, and it had all these exotic places. I thought, one day I'm going to go see those places. And here we are, in the Caribbean. Wonderful.
Yeah, we have travelled everywhere, or almost everywhere, and seen a lot of wonderful places, and there's really not anywhere I want to go except for one special place. I want to go home.
You're so used to obviously touring and stuff. You keep quite a hectic schedule. Do you get homesick like immediately going on tour, or does it have to go on like, all right, 3-4 weeks, I do need to get home for a while?
What was the middle part?
Being on the road, getting homesick. I mean, how soon into a tour do you, get homesick for your own band?
Oh, you don't let yourself think about it. Not until there's less than 5 gigs to go. You just don't think about it. You just get on with it. Because, I mean, it really is a joy playing to you guys. That 2 hours a night is fantastic. It's the other 22 that's crap. And, I still love playing. So you just don't let it enter into your mind till it's almost time to get home. And then you start thinking about, who am I going to ring to put some milk in the fridge, some bacon, get a fresh loaf, all that nice homey stuff,
For me, home is where the heart is, and when I'm on stage, that's where I am at that time. And so wherever I am, you've got to take your heart with you. Take it with you, take it with you. Be cool, be happy, be bright, keep smiling.
Let's readjust.
at some point we are going to screw up this microphone passing. All right. This one comes from Shelley Rodner of Ocean View, Delaware. She would like to know, are there any artists, past or present, who you would like to perform or collaborate with? Remember last year's cruise, we obviously talked about how much Buddy Holly was an influence, but anybody from the past or present who you would like to either write a song with or perform with? Justin?
I don't think so. Just doing my own stuff. That's about it. I mean, I love so many artists and so many people like Buddy and the Everleys, and you know, there's so many great young kids coming along now that are just fabulous. And I can never take part in that argument when people come up to me and say, oh, the music of today, you know, it will never last, and everything, because that's always wrong, because there's young kids falling in love and having a great time to music that's being made now by young artists, and that'll stay with them the rest of their lives. I mean, that's why we're here, because people love the music of their youth, and that's a very precious thing. You know, it's a question, that particular question of who would you like to, who you'd like to work with, is a question that comes around often, and I don't have those kind of desires, really, and or to sort of be like anybody else. Sorry about that.
Fine. I asked the question, you gave an honest answer.
My own songs.
There is a lot of colleges now are offering music courses where, for instance, in New Jersey, we've got, I believe it's Montclair State University has a course on deciphering Bruce Springsteen, everything about whether his lyrics, his lifestyle, his political slant, so on and so forth. And it just got me thinking, if there was, is there one person in history, whether music or not, who you would love to take a course on? Any of the three of you? Anybody, you know, well, again, music, an explorer, whatever the case may be that you, if given the chance, would like to take a course on?
That's slippery.
That's a good question. Yeah, that's that question is from Sal. It wouldn't have got past otherwise. I suppose I'd like to take a course in philosophy. There you go. That's probably where I'd like to be. Actually, or accountancy.
The thought of going back to school is terrifying. I remember when I left school, you know, it was hooray, I'm free, and all the boys around Swindon, with musicians, would say, "You turned professional yet?" Which meant giving up your job. And then one Saturday, I decided I'd turn professional, and I could stay in bed. I could stay in bed every morning and just play at night. Perfect world.
Well, I've got a good follow-up for you here, Justin.
Oh.
This one comes from Mary Bentley of Wiltshire.
Wiltshire?
Yes. She says, Justin, how encouraging was your family when you wanted to learn the guitar? The reason for my question was in 1969, your father taught me at school and proudly brought your records into class, and I've been a fan ever since.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Well, my parents were both teachers, as some of you may know, and my father taught English and philosophy and what they quaintly called then divinity. But he was an English teacher and a Latin teacher, and my mother taught a number of different subjects. But it meant that they were permanently broke, because their teachers didn't get paid very much. I'm pretty sure they still don't, actually, sadly. But it's a vocational profession, so it's people who have the vocation and the desire to try and help kids, you know, take steps forward. And I appreciate the thoughts of that person. But my parents were very encouraging, really, to both me and my brother and my sister. And I proved the worth of pestering your parents in kids who getting. First of all, I had a ukulele, which seemed like the first step in pestering. All right, I'll have a ukulele then. And so I had that when I was about 7 or 8, and that was easy. And then when I was 10, I pestered them into getting a guitar. And then they always said to me, though, you know, just do what you want to do and follow your own path. And it was very good advice. The only thing that I had to do was get what was called O-levels at school. I got 5 O-levels, and I was lucky enough to go to a grammar school in Swindon, and you know, it wasn't that much of a big deal, but I got my O-levels, and then I was free. Run away. Guitar player.
Did the UK schools at that time, did they offer music education?
Oh, sure.
Did it?
Yeah.
Because
I got a lousy report from the music teacher because I wouldn't join in all those horrid things that he wanted to do. I wanted to do 3 chords.
Because sadly in the States, when the budget cuts comes, music education always seems to be one of the first to go.
That's a shame, yeah.
And as you know, I know there's some artist, Paul McCartney in particular, who has started the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts. So it's about 20 years old now, but to keep that alive and get people on their way. What would you say to people today who come up to you and say, you know, I do want a career in music? It's obviously a much different world from when you guys all started out.
Think carefully. Yeah, because the odds of you being as lucky as we are very small. So you've got to, excuse me, you've got to really just love it for what it is, because chances are you're always going to have another job. And so just make sure you love it. It's all you really want to do, because it's a strict mistress, music.
Career is a strange word, I think, because I think we're just musicians, and you don't start off to say, I'm going to have a career being a musician or whatever. It's just a way of life, and you suddenly look back and say, yeah, that's what I actually did, or that's what I'm actually doing. And I don't think you can say, I'm going to have a career in music, because it may not be for you. You'll find out if you want to be a musician, if that instrument is in your bedroom 24 hours a day and you're playing it and driving everyone mad, you'll know then you're a musician.
I think the thing that I would say is to follow your own heart, you know, trust your own judgment. It's a great life being a musician, and if you have the desire to do it, I don't think it's actually got that much to do with talent, or it's a desire. Anyone can play if they really have the desire to do it and put the work in. You know, as a kid, I played until my fingers every day until my fingers really, really hurt. In fact, they still hurt. But